like it. Who's a man, dog? Come on, wake him up.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Grid, the Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Brock Eisman, sports psychologist, outdoorsman, and the founder of Off The Gryd Therapy. Let's get after it. Enjoy the show.
Trying to fight a war, but I lose myself. What is living for if I burn in hell?
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Grid, the Mindset Podcast. I hope you guys had a great weekend and a great start to your week. 4th of July is coming up, celebrating the 250th birthday of America. I am stoked for that, and I'm proud to be an American. Both of my grandpas were in the military, and for the men and the women out there who have served, thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful for that, and this is going to be a very exciting Saturday. Every single man that is out there, I want you guys to understand, be super responsible this weekend. Don't start any fires. Don't drink too much. Be a very good man, okay? Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy the time with your friends. Today's topic is a really good one as we close June and Men's Mental Health Month. We're talking about men and pretty much all men and the use of shame, pain, and rage, specifically about increasing performance in high performers. This is something that I see nearly every single day with my clients, and I wanted to bring it to you guys to talk about. If you relate to it, or if there's something that you can take away from this, that's why I wanted to talk about it today. Using pain for motivation to succeed. Using rage to push through hard things. Using shame to follow through and get it done. Those are things that men do and things that I see all the time. Are any of those bad? Is it wrong to use pain or rage or shame? Those emotions, do they help with performance or do they hurt performance? Honestly, it's a tricky answer. It's a very nuanced question, particularly because every single man is different. Have I used all of these to perform these tasks? Absolutely. I really want you to think about that. If your main thing that you use happens to fall in those three categories, this is the perfect episode for you. And I know a lot of men that does fall in those categories, including myself. I don't believe that using those emotions, they're completely wrong. I've seen pain produce incredible performance. I've seen shame create unbelievable discipline. I work with professional athletes. I work with first responders, military guys, high-performing business guys. And many of them got to there because they had something to prove. It's a grit mindset that comes from overcoming these types of challenges and something attached to their worth and its relation to success and performance. And they use these emotions to get there. Now, is that wrong? Yes and no. Because sometimes it's exactly what's needed. Sometimes pain is the wake-up call. Sometimes anger gets you moving, right? Sometimes shame forces you to be the change. All those things can be great, but every single guy has a threshold. And like I said, every guy's different. So it makes it really hard when you look at other guys and you go, I'm going to be replicating that for myself, because we're all different. Every emotion that you have, it makes you you, and it comes at a cost. As men, we're really good at turning the switch on, the go, I'm just going to go. The cost is not knowing when to shut that off or how to shut that off. That's when we see guys crash or burn out, completely fall apart. And like I mentioned in the last episode, you've been redlining it for 110% for 10, 20, 30 years. And eventually you are going to realize, or you have realized, who it's been affecting. And it's been affecting your marriage. It's been affecting your kids. It's been affecting your friends. It's been affecting your patients, you. And it affects everything and everyone around you. So today, I wanted to give you guys some tools. Not to get rid of using the things that make you perform well, because I do know that sometimes they're absolutely necessary, but tools to use the emotions, like if you use your emotions like anger and rage and shame, we're going to get tools to use those for good and how to use them in a healthy way. Also, I think the world, with all the motivational speakers out there and all the coaches out there, they've made it like really cool to be an ultra runner or an elite athlete. And trust me, I've worked with those guys. The need to use like your emotions and your trauma and your pain and your rage, like it's been really cool. And that's how you get into sports like that. And that's how you do things. And that's how you become successful at the tasks that you do. You have to use those things. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have therapists that are like, hey, men's number one problem is that they're attaching themselves to performance. And that's why they have so many issues and so on and so forth, right? So I'm here to bridge that gap. I'm here to say, let's do both. And I want to give you guys some tools for that. So it'd be great if you're driving, obviously I understand, but if you wrote some of these things down, get a journal. If you don't have a journal, absolutely get a journal. But tool number one, understanding how to disassociate. I think disassociation gets a bad rap because people only talk about it as something that's unhealthy. And in the right situation, it's one of the greatest performance tools that I think men have. Like think about a firefighter walking into a burning house, or a law enforcement officer responding to a shooting, a medic trying to save someone's life, or an athlete like competing in a really big situation. Sometimes the moment is not the time to process your emotions. That moment is for performance, and performance only. It's just action where you allow your training to take over. You compartmentalize, you disassociate, you shut down the emotional side of your brain to perform it and do it at an extremely high level. And here's the issue. You never actually reassociate. That's where we miss that aspect. We will disassociate. We get really good at it, turning that switch on. But then turning that switch off, can't figure out how to reassociate. When that moment is over, that situation has now become like at ease, and emotionally, you never actually come back. You're now at home with your wife or your significant other, and you're still emotionally shut down. Maybe with your kids, you're still not present, emotionally available, and that time is now wasted. Disassociating, it's made you like a highly exceptional performer, but now it's ruining all of your relationships, the moments where you used to find peace and they're not there anymore. So here's my challenge for tool number one. Learn how to disassociate when the moment requires it, but just as intentionally learn how to reassociate. So reassociate. Disassociate is great. Learn how to reassociate. Now, if you have your journal, I want you to write that. If you don't know how to disassociate, I basically just kind of ran down how to do it. But then learn how to reassociate. Okay? That's really, really important. And with that, you have to find the right time, the right place, the right person, and you need to talk about it. You need to process it. You need to sit with it. Because high performance without processing will eventually catch up to you. It'll harden you to the people that you love the most. Tool number two, know your threshold. I mentioned threshold before. There's something in this, and I do this with my clients all the time, but I want you, and I'll give a little description for those that are watching, but excuse me. Basically, draw an inverted U, which is just that, right? And then on the bottom, I want you to write 1 through 10. Okay, so 1 is on one side, 10 is on the other. Okay, 1 means that you are extremely reactive. Okay, so think of 1 extremely reactive. 10 means that you're handling things exceptionally well. You're calm, you're focused, you're resilient. Now, I want you in this top number, and draw a line, but in this top number, I want you to write the number that you are at. Okay, the one that best describes you. And please, don't answer with the man that you want to be. I want you to actually write the number of the man that you are right now. Okay, that's really important. Be brutally honest. Then I want you to start paying attention. So I'm going to write this number. Okay. For me, that's a 6. Okay. Honestly, the number itself, it does not really matter, but it matters to you. You're the only one that's going to know this number. And I want you to figure out what your number is. Okay. So start paying attention to that number. And usually what I do is I'll have guys write the number down, circle it, and I'll be like, okay, know your number. Start paying attention to that. Know your number. Your awareness is the most important piece to this tool. So I need to be aware of what number I'm at. If you go over this number, that means that you are doing exceptionally well. If you go under this number, that means that you are doing not well. Okay. You're being very reactive. You're being very emotional. Okay. So let me rephrase this. When you go under this number, that's when you need to ask for help. That's when you are past your threshold. Okay. Be honest with yourself. Okay. If you are under the number that you have chosen, this is going to be a time for you to reach out to somebody to ask for help. If you're over the number, that means that you can push it. You can go for it. You can absolutely keep going as long as you're honest. Okay. And by all means, keep going. Okay. Okay. So that is tool number 2. So on to tool number 3. Build new sources of motivation. Pain may have started this journey for you. And David Goggins may have helped you create your discipline, right? But it shouldn't be responsible for carrying you forever, your whole life. I want you to ask yourself, and write this down if you have a journal, what's driving me today? Am I still proving somebody wrong? Am I still trying to urge someone's approval? Still angry? Still ashamed? Or has it matured? Because eventually, something like purpose has to replace the pain. Something like service has to replace the anger. Faith can replace what you once used when you were afraid, when you had fear to use. Brotherhood can replace something like isolation. So listen back to this, and I want you to write those questions down and then come up with those answers that I gave you. You don't have to use the exact same answers of the replacements, but come up with something for yourself. I got a metaphor for this too. Stick with me on this. This is about cars and about gasoline. So if you have no clue about what this means, we're going to talk about octane. All right. But 100 octane, it performs incredibly well. That's what I put in dirt bikes. That's what you would put in like a race car. They probably have their own race field, but 100 octane performs really well. And it's expensive. You would not drive on 100 octane every single day unless you accepted the cost of that octane. I think the same is true for men in our minds. Some emotions, they will create incredible performance, but they also come at an incredible cost. So that rage and that anger and that shame that you put on yourself, those come at an incredible cost when you're using pain to just go out and use it for performance. So know what you're burning. Know what octane you're burning, because every fuel has a cost. And your pain may have started the engine, but your purpose, your why, is what keeps that engine running. Here's what I want you to do this week. Number 1, learn when to disassociate and when it's time to reassociate. Number 2, figure out your threshold. Make that inverted U. Stop pretending that you're a 10 when you're operating like a 3. Okay? Know yourself. Write down for number 3, what is driving you? What is pushing you? What are you using? Is it pain? Is it anger? Is it shame? Or is it something bigger? The strongest men that I have met in my life, they weren't men who never felt pain or never felt rage or never had shame. They didn't use it. They were the men who learned how to use it and when to leave it behind. They learned how to leave it behind. They learned how to use it, but also leave it behind. So that's it for today. Okay. That's your mindset session. If you like what you just heard, please hit the subscribe button. give us a review, and share the show. Sharing the show is a way to get this to the right people who need to hear it. So I thank you for that. You can also watch all our podcasts on YouTube as well. I appreciate you guys being here and supporting our mission to get off the grid, to find your why, and we'll see you out there. Peace. All of our episodes are donor supported. We're a 501c3 not-for-profit business, creating a place for men to learn tools to better themselves and their families, their communities, and our country. If you feel led to donate and support our mission, head over to the website, offthegryd.com, grid with a Y. I'll also add our link to the show notes. In addition to donor support, this episode was brought to you by Mahogany Smoked Meats. All of you guys have been messaging me about how you've placed orders and you've been loving the jerky, so I'm stoked to hear that. We only work with brands that we truly love and support. These guys are rad. So ever since I was a kid, my dad and I, we would always stop at Mahogany Smoked Meats before whatever adventure we were heading on, grabbing beef jerky and sandwiches to hit the road. Now, years later, I am super stoked that Mahogany Meats has become a part of the Off The Gryd trips. If you've ever been on one of our trips, you already know that there's a big bag of mahogany jerky or beef sticks or bacon somewhere in our trucks, our coolers, or around the fire. They've been family owned since 1922 out of Bishop, California. Still doing things the old-fashioned way. You can genuinely taste the difference. Whether you're camping, fishing, hunting, riding somewhere off the grid, Mahogany Smoked Meats Mahogany Smoked Meats has become part of the experience for us and the guys on the trips. Go support the businesses that still believe in quality, tradition, and bringing good people together. Mahogany Smoked Meats.
Trying to fight away.